I think there has been a situation with George where, despite his high performance, we continue to talk about George getting lucky or kind of glossing over his performance. And George has been on the podium 3 of the first 4 races of the season. And his race this weekend was actually really impressive. Not only do we have to look at his tire strategy and managing those soft tires for 2 different stints, but we also have to look at the fact that his car was just actively falling apart this entire race. One of the major issues that you may have found yourself being frustrated about with the coverage was his transponder, which is a piece of tech in the car that allows everybody to see where he is on the track. And we were continually seeing his kind of lap times not show up. But when you realize how much of the sport is about data and about precision, and you recognize that George was actively losing more and more data throughout the race, not being able to see where he was, not being able to see where he was in relation to the other cars and with cars behind him, having to look at DRS from a manual standpoint and also rely on his engineer's timing. And also, as we heard over the radio, he was also losing the dashboard. And at a certain point, he said, as long as the steering wheel stays on, I'll finish the race. And I kind of joked about this, but it almost felt like by the end, he was going to be running a Flintstone car. Like every lap, he seemed to be losing a certain portion of that car and the tech behind it. And so for him to be able to be dealing with all of that and also make his way not only to finish the race, but to finish second and maintain that position was rather, as he put it, audacious. And I think the honest thing right now is to say that he has been performing very well this season. And I also think it's worth pointing out that he absolutely has to be. George Russell is one of the few drivers whose contract expires at the end of this season. As we're seeing, Kimi Antonelli is becoming the focus of the future of this team. That has been very well stated by Toto Wolff, and Kimi has also been putting up a performance so far that make it clear that he does have the type of potential we've been talking about. And so with that being said, George himself needs to be performing at a high level, which he is doing at this very beginning of the season, because at the end of the season, he needs to have a contract completed either with Mercedes or with someone else if he wants to stay on the grid.